didn't feel like getting totally blown away today, but I've been wanting to do my live streams outside because it feels better or something. Or maybe because I'm sitting and working a lot, that coming outside is nice to do my live streams. Perhaps that's more what it is. So I really wanted to talk about this priorities thing and like feeling loved and stuff. There's a lot of people, talking about love and acceptance and, like feeling enough and feeling loved and feeling all that. And I guess I wanted to speak because I've had like these people saying these things to me, and it's like this emptiness and trying to fill this hole and all of that jazz, and really wanting to, just like say, like if you feel unloved, if you don't feel loved, if you feel alone, if you feel all of that, you're kind of trying to fill yourself with the wrong thing, right? And there's a couple of different factors I wanted to talk about, and I didn't want to, I wanted to put, are you feeling loved? Or, for the title, I'm like, what do I put? Because there's so much I want to talk about here. And, a big part of it is, I'm seeing a lot of people still in a lot of darkness, and, sadness and depression and all of this after the eclipse. And, the kind of key message that I wanted to come on and say is that if you're not feeling loved, you're trying to fill yourself up with the wrong thing. So if you're looking for a relationship, then and you're trying to make that, it's like that's making you happiness or that's making you feel whole, then you're kind of looking in the wrong space. And the other thing is that, when I said it's not about being too busy, it's about priorities. A lot of people say that, I don't know, there's a, and I'm talking about in relationship at the moment. So like if you're in relationship and someone doesn't give you their time, consistently for a long period of time, it's kind of like, questioning about, is it an avoidance or is it generally busyness, right? Like in a sense of like sometimes life is busy, right? So it's kind of like being clear about what that is. But if it's a busyness to avoid being in relationship, and I say that because I know exactly what that is because I used to fucking do that, then it's kind of reassessing, and if your needs aren't getting met in relationship, well, there's two points here. It's like, it's not up to the other person to fill your needs at all, and that's, exactly when we go looking for a relationship, and it's like, trying to fill that hole, which is exactly what I, said at the start of this live stream. It's like, if you're not feeling loved, you're looking for love in the wrong places. Like a relationship's not going to satisfy you. Getting, the car you want's not going to satisfy you. It'll satisfy you for a little bit, but not for sustainable stuff. And why is that? Well, because as I always talk about at the sacral chakra, it's like that's where, we're nourished at our core, and the only thing that will nourish you and fill you up at that space is your life purpose, is doing and being what you're here to do, right? Now, I said this morning in my blog, I said about, if you, if you are feeling, still all those irritated things and angry and all of that, it's like something is out of alignment, something is off path, right? And it's like, when you can let go of the shoulds, which get you out of your head. Oh, I should be doing that, right? Because that's going to make you, I better do that because I should do this, rather than, oh, well, I feel like doing that, which can be like nothing. Like it could be totally unproductive in your mind. And it's like, you need to let go of the shoulds and go and do that, because ultimately the thing that you feel like doing will fill you up. And when you are filled up, you have energy, you have aliveness, you have joy, you have all those things that sustain you. That's very sacral, right? And then you will have the energy, and doing those other things, those should things, they will become effortless because you're full, right? So if there's things that you think that oh, well, I should do this, and it makes you fucking like, don't fucking do them. And as I said as well, I'm like, what if you just trusted? What if you just trusted? Yeah, what if you just trusted that doing what this feels like today is going to make those other things easier, right? Because it does. And it, you know, and there's a lot of trust in doing that, yeah? A lot of trust in trusting yourself to fill and nourish you up at your core, rather than pushing against the grain, which is the shoulds, will leave you feeling more empty than if you just did the thing that you really wanted to do. So, you know, and I talk about that with, you know, like the relationships, because in calling in your soulmate, you know, like so many people are like, you know, like calling in your soulmate, it's like, fuck, you know, I should have called it a different name. I fucking called it that on purpose, right? Because people think that it's calling in your soulmate. Whilst it is, it's about calling your soul to the table. It's about filling your soul, because our soul houses in our body. And when we are, you know, trying to fill ourselves, or if we feel empty, or we feel unloved, or we feel fucking anything but joy and happiness, then our soul is not in our body, right? And to get our soul in our body is those things that feed our soul, right? And what is that for you? You know, like that's different for everybody. For me, it's surfing. For me, it's creating my courses, like, you know, doing live streams for you guys. That fills me up. That fucking nourishes me, right? If I don't do that, that's when I go into a hole. So it's like, you know, finding what fills you up and going and doing that, yeah? And trusting that when you have your soul full and when your soul is in your body, you will glow, you will do those things, right? You will feel alive, you will look alive. People will go, oh, well, I want some of what she's got. What is, you know, what is that? It's like fucking doing and living your life purpose, yeah? So if you are feeling flat, angry, depressed, unloved, any of that shit, go and do something that your soul wants to do, right? It's like, you know, can you just let go of the shoulds, let go of the mind, let go of all of those things and do what your soul is calling and craving you to do? Because when you do that, you do more of that. And do you know what that does? It lines you up for your purpose, yeah? You step onto purpose because why? Because your soul and your intuition is what guide you here in this life, in this purpose. And when you step into like a relationship, whether it's work relationship, intimate relationship, any sort of relationship, we lose ourselves, and that's when the shadows come into play, because we step into roles, and then, you know, we go deeper and deeper with all these masks and shadows, and we kind of forget who we are. We're like all the way back here, and we've got all these layers to fucking unpack and undo that. Well, don't do that, right? Just keep being you. Keep doing what your soul wants to do. If something doesn't feel right, well, do what does feel right, because ultimately at the end of the day, you're going to be the one laying on your deathbed, and I'm sure you're going to look back and go, fuck, I wish I'd done that, and not go, fuck, I wish I'd done those things that I wish I should have done. You know, it's like, no, do those things that bring your soul alive, because it will keep you energized, alive, happy, on fucking purpose, and people will wonder what you're doing that's different to them. And it's just that, it's listening to your soul, it's feeding and nourishing your soul. So if you feel anything but loved and happy, go and do something that your soul's wanting to do. Not the shoulds, not the housework, not, I don't know, maybe the housework fills you up, I don't know. But do what your soul is calling you to do, okay? Now, if you have trouble feeling loved in relationship, or not sure how to fucking listen to your soul or anything like that, then we've got Calling in Your Soulmate, which is opening, well, it's open now, we start on the 21st of September. Because oh, I just got a message from my daughter. It's just come through the notification. I feel like I barely speak to her when she's in New Zealand. I do, but because she's busy, and then it's like when she's here, she barely speaks to her dad, you know, and I've asked about it, and she's like, oh, it makes me miss him more. And I'm like, well, that's the same. So I'm like, oh, my daughter. So Calling in Soulmate is open now. If you want to join that, early bird is open. We start on the 21st of September. So I'll post the link in the comments, because that is how you feel your soul from the inside out. And if you are looking for a relationship and you're not having any luck doing that and finding a relationship, or maybe you find a relationship and then it fucking ends and you're like, oh my God, I'm fucking sick of this. It's like, you know, being able to know what nourishes your soul so that you can keep a relationship, right? So that you can create what you really really want in life, you know, a loving partner, you know, your dream life, whatever that is, that's what we work on in calling in your soulmate. Because yes, it's about calling your soul, like I said, calling in your soulmate, but it's also about getting to clear on your soul and how to incarnate your soul into your body, because we're working with the sacral chakra and calling in your soulmate. It's about nourishing your core, your soul, your whole body, your whole life, so that you can be vibrating that happiness and vibrance and fullness, attracting that rather than the emptiness and the, you know, trying to fill each other up, which just fucking ends in a mess, right? So I'll post the link in the comments for that. We've also got the half price tarot readings. There's only 5 days left to get your half price psychic tarot reading. I've had heaps of them. I've had more come in. I caught up last night and then there's just been more coming. I'm like, ah! So it's only 5 days left to get in for that. So I'll post the link in the comments for that too. So if you have got any questions, please comment below and I will get in there. If you think that this will help somebody, please share it. So main core message is, if you're not feeling loved or you're feeling empty, go and do something that your soul is calling you to do, because your soul incarnates in your body when you feel, you know, your soul up and do what you're doing, because we're here, right? So when you do what your soul wants you to do, you're physically in your body doing what your soul wants to do, and that's when you become alive. That's when you feel happy. That's when you're vibrant. That's when you're glowing. That's when people want what you want. That's when you attract your soulmate in. So keep it really real. Go and do something that fills you up. Namaste.